Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In this one, I wanted to discuss what I think you should look for when it comes to picking a mentor or someone to invest in for their help in your business. If you're looking to buy a course or a coaching program or something like that, or some sort of a group coaching program or a mastermind event or an event or a book or whatever it is, what should you look for if you're really going to go all in with somebody? Hopefully this helps you to sort of discern, who to go with if you're going to make, some big investments in terms of the growth of your business or starting a business or whatever it might be that you're doing. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Hopefully this helps you. So first things first, it's obviously no secret that, we have our own consulting and coaching programs. We have two really that are on the market right now. It's the 6-figure marketing consultant program, and then we have our program called 7-figure systems, which it lets people scale $2 million a year with their businesses, building them one good offer, one good sales funnel, helping them scale. I don't want to turn this too much into a pitch for those things, even though they're really good. We've got a lot of incredible stories coming out of those programs. But I do want to help you really narrow in who you're looking for and how I make buying decisions really when it comes time for me to, invest in another coach or another program or something. So just so you know, I've spent I'd say about $80,000 of my own cash, and I'm 21. On courses, coaches, people like that to really help me succeed in my career. And I think it's really important that you understand that I take these things seriously as well. So I take investments into my own business very seriously. The most expensive investment I've thrown is a $30,000 check towards a mastermind that I'm a part of that is filled with people very similar to myself, doing $1 million a year or more in their business, selling consulting services or courses or coaching or done-for-you services even. So it's a really interesting mastermind with a lot of really cool people. That's the biggest investment I've made, everything all the way down to a $500 course when I was just getting started on how to sell products online. So it's I've really, there's been a lot of evolution in my journey. But I want to get into it in this video. What should you look for in a mentor, and how can you know if somebody's legit if they're not? And everything like that. So the very first thing that you're going to want to look for, and this is really crucial, is that everybody, you want to look and see if their program or whatever it is that they've got has a way for everybody who's in the program to talk to each other. A really, really easy thing for a scammer to do is to essentially sell everybody a copy of their thing or whatnot, and then not let them communicate. Because if you keep people separate, then you keep them from talking about the downsides or the deficits of whatever it is that you're offering them. And it's a really kind of a scammy tactic that I've seen used, and it's pretty shady, honestly. Like, it's not a good thing to do. But people will do it. So make sure that when people buy the thing that they're able to communicate with each other and that you're able to get the help from the community. So if somebody offers a community element alongside of what they do, you can trust that more than likely they're going to be a good option. Like, that's a really good first start, whether it's a business program or a personal development program, a weight loss program, or whatever it is that you're looking to buy. If they connect their clients together, that's a win. That's really good. The next thing you want to look for is the person's track record. Does it make sense that they're teaching what they're teaching? Like, do they have a really good reason why they have the expertise that they have when it comes to teaching what they want to teach? Like, for example, I wouldn't buy a weight loss program from someone who is overweight. Like, that's just me. I wouldn't buy a business program from someone who doesn't have experience in business. I wouldn't buy a program on advice of relationships from someone who's on their third marriage, right? These are just basics, right? You want to make sure that the person themselves is legit, or at least the people who are teaching the program know what they're talking about. So sometimes, you have this structure where you've got a core influencer who sells programs, and then other people teach their programs. Well, you want to make sure that the people who teach their programs are actually legit and have the things that they're teaching, right? More than often, selling a course online is more like a cash grab than anything. Even though it's one of my primary revenue generators for my business, I consider everybody in our programs clients more than I do students. We pour into them and help them in ways that are outside of the bounds of the agreement of the program all the time. I go all in on my clients. I just got off of a 2-hour call where I was hanging out with one of our clients, just getting to know him further because he's succeeding so well. I figured I should really just spend some time with him. So, I think it's really important that you find people who don't just classify their clients as just another one of the bunch, but actually take the time and spend time with them. I know this probably sounds like a plug for our programs, and maybe in a way it is, because we're really good at what we do and we get great results. But if you're not shopping for us, that's fine too. Hopefully I can continue and help you find the right mentor. So moving on though, what other things should you look for? So first of all, community. Second of all, you want to make sure that they actually know what they're teaching and that they actually have the track record and they can prove it. The other thing is, that they invest into the individuals in their programs. The next thing is you want to see success stories coming out of their programs. So like, if they have a big promise, for example, like if they're saying, hey, we can help you scale your business to this level. Like you want to see people coming out of their program that have that success, right? And you want to have names. You want to have proof that those people are actually doing it. It's the only fallacy in this though is that if somebody has a program that is, it meets all the bare minimum required like things. Like if it's a program on, let's say for example, starting a dropshipping business, and all they show you how to do is just set up a website and then the basics of Facebook ads, and like that's it, right? They don't really dig into business structure. They don't dig into building your team around it. They don't dig into market research and launching products that are actually going to click. They don't dig into capital reallocation. They don't dig into cash flow issues if you try and scale during Q4. They don't dig into like the more of the complex things. They just do the basics, which is very typical. And really all they do is just give you the shallow stuff just to make you feel good. If they sell enough of that program, somebody will figure out the rest and then succeed, right? So if you have somebody who has a program with like thousands of people in it, this isn't quite so good of a metric, because if you have thousands of people in a program, inevitably, 10, 20, 30 of them are going to succeed, which then sort of carries the bunch forward, even though, maybe half of them aren't happy with their purchase. So that's something to think about as well. If it's a larger person with a larger audience, you want to really consider that. But at the same time, if somebody has an offer that's going to help you, like just go all in. Like even if it's not perfect, getting started is the most important thing. People take $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 loans out to go to college and just get miscellaneous information that may or may not help them. I'm willing to spend $5,000 to $10,000, and this is what I did at the start of my journey, and I believe it's one of the things that really helped me, just investing and making sure I can like just get started. Even if it's not perfect, it's better than nothing. And you've heard me talk about on this channel, in one of my previous videos, I talked about some of the habits that helped make me a millionaire in my 20s. And one of the main ones was I don't put any content into my head that is free content. Like everything that I put into my head is paid in some form, because it's incentivized to be good if it's paid. Whereas with free content, it's probably just marketing something to you at the end of the day. Most free content, that's what it's doing. So I always pay for things, pay for advice, pay for coaching, pay for programs, and then I'll go all in on it, right? So yeah, that's another thing you want to look for. The next thing you want to look for is, who is the person? You'll find that, people tend to learn from people that are something like them. And it's just natural. Like, if there's a conference of some kind and the guy speaking at the conference has like a big beard, you'll notice that a lot of the people in the audience also have like a big beard, or like if the guy is black or white, there's a lot of people that are gonna be black or white in the audience, right? So it's just like people tend to follow people like them as a majority rule. And it's not safe to say that as a core rule, you only follow people like yourself, but that tends to naturally happen. And you want to kind of lean into that. Let the person that you're buying from have similar values to you, because you'll find that the way that they teach lines more up with the values that you have. Like, for example, you might not think that, so for me, I'm generally a more conservative, family-oriented, like Christian thinker. Like that's my way of thinking. And so when I'm looking for somebody to learn from, like, are they married? And if they've been married for a long time, like that's a huge green light for me. Like if they can sustain a marriage for like 10, 20 years, I'm like sick. Like that's really cool to see. Or if they can balance their business and their marriage, that's really cool for me, because that's one of the goals that I have. Or maybe, you are really into travel, and you can see that this guy, is able to run the business that he's running and also travel, and he knows how to do that. Well, go after that. So you want to look at who they are and the habits that they have, as well as, the actual content in the program before you invest. So that's a big one as well. You'll find that you'll have a lot better of an experience, investing with someone who actually lines up with your values than you will, just picking someone just because they can guarantee, quote guarantee, which nobody can actually guarantee anything, the result that you're wanting to get, right? So that's another thing as well. And here's the last one. And this is a big one. I think you need to look at the person's reputation, look at like what people are saying about them online, but really don't just do a quick Google search. Actually talk to the people that have worked with them and see what their experience has been and make your own decision. With an educational product or any sort of consulting product, there's going to be people on both ends of the bell curve. There's going to be people that had a horrible experience, but you're going to be able to see that they had no horrible experience, not just with their program, but with every single other program they've ever gone through, which makes you think maybe it's a problem with them. And then you're going to see people that say that this is a great program, but they also have great experiences with every single program. So you can see that, they're just the kind of person that really like the program. So you want to find people who are kind of somewhere in the middle, who have a good idea of what they're looking for and have some opinions that are negative and some opinions that are positive about certain people and certain methods and certain things, right? And those are the people you're going to want to look for when you're looking to make a purchase into some sort of a program. If you're wanting to grow your business, or you're wanting to grow your fitness, I guess, or you're wanting to, better your relationships, or whatever it is, there's a lot of experts out there that honestly have a lot of genuinely valuable things to say and valuable things to help you with. Like, I'm a huge believer that if somebody says they can help you, the worst thing that happens is you'll lose a little money. And money can always be made back, but time, you can't get time back. So if you found someone that you think you can get help from, just go all in. And that's what I've done. Again, $80,000, and I can prove it if anybody wants. I'll happily show you the receipts, show you everything that I've bought. I've lost track at this point, but it's at least 80 grand in expenses towards education. When I see that someone has what I want, or maybe is where I want to be, or is helping me with sort of an outcome that I desire in my life or in my business, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to pay them for their help and see what I can get. Actually, the first coach I ever worked with didn't even offer one-on-one coaching, but I messaged and I said, hey, I'm kind of stuck. I just want help. What would it take to just work with you? And he said $2,000. I said, all right, that works fine for me. I'll pay you $2,000. At the time, I had $4,000 in my bank. This is when I was like 16, maybe 17, 21 now. So it's like 3 whole years ago, which is crazy. And I just paid him $2,000 for a month of coaching. It was a call a week, and it was totally worth it. And I realized that there was a lot of areas that I needed to grow in. And if you could just speak with or get that interaction with the person that is the head of the program, that's huge as well. That's a big thing you're going to want to look for. So yeah, hopefully this helps you. Honestly, I just wanted to come from the perspective of spending, $80,000, like $80,000 on these internet gurus and these people that are, selling business advice and stuff. And it's an interesting market because, obviously there's not that much incentive for people to have like an amazing program. But my thought process is, you can either test the waters and go all in with a couple different people until you find the right one, or you can do nothing, and you can just go the typical route and just go to college and figure it out that way. And that works fine too, but you're going to have a lot more debt and a lot more time wasted going that route, in my opinion, than you will just saying, you know what, I'm willing to drop some cash on these things. I know people who even pulled out like business loans to invest into masterminds or educational services. And not that I'm telling anyone to do that, but if you are ready to go, you're ready to go. And it's a pretty good, smart way to do it if you are willing to eat out that debt down the line. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to encourage you, obviously I'm biased because we have our own programs and we have our own things, but there's a lot of people who are on the fence, and there's a lot of people who don't understand, what they need to look for in order to, buy from a good mentor. And I figured since I have $80,000 in spend under my own belt, I can probably speak with some authority on the topic, as well as having our own programs that we've worked with over like 350 people at this point, either individually or through, a group setting or a course of some kind, helping them grow their marketing agency, their consulting or coaching businesses using proven funnels, organic marketing strategies, sales strategies, offer creation, everything like that. So we're really good at what we do. If you are curious about any of our stuff, you can schedule a call down below. It's totally free, no pressure to make any sort of a decision on the call, no crazy sales tactics or anything. We're just happy to answer any questions and figure out where you're at and see if there's any way we can help you. So do that down below. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully this helps you on your search to finding a good mentor. See you in the next one.